Hello, YTPC. So, last video I put up was the start of the infusion. Well, couldn't get a rig set up and get decent video of me putting it in the bag, putting the vanilla in there. But it's all in there. Vacuum sealed up. It'll be there for about a week. Then I'll stove it. Probably throw some pictures up in a video for stoving. Essentially in a water bath for 6 to 8 hours, 200 degrees in the oven. Pretty simple. Today, we got some Commonwealth in the cob. Finally figured out a way to rig up some sort of stand. It's ugly. I'm not going to show it on camera because it's functional but not beautiful. But it's working at this point. So, getting ready to put together a very strong English twist. Had a guy talking to him. He's a nic freak. He wants the nicotine. So, that's what I'm going to give him. Let's see if I can get the camera in the right spot. That looks like it should work. So, I already measured all this stuff out, besides the dark fire, which is this here. Got my parchment paper down. Got Latakia, some Orientals, a little bit of Perique, fair amount of Virginias, not stove, just straight, bright leaf smooth. I guess this is the Oriental, sorry. This is Rustica tobacco, whatever, wild tobacco. Supposedly 9 times the strength. It's definitely strong. All I've done a little bit of steaming. Got it all wet and pliable. I tend to blend on the wetter side, but then again, I'm also using Everclear to combat mold. It makes me feel better inside. Don't have to worry about it. Be able to show you guys de-stemming. I only de-stem before I blend. Keep everything together. Then I save the stems. Grind them up. Well, dry them first. Grind them up into nasal snuff, which will be later on down the road. I have so much at this point that I'm probably not going to make some for a while. Unless I can get some people to want some and I can send it to them. I do 3 different on those. A straight one, no stove, just enough to dry it out. And then I do 2 different stoving processes for a medium and a dark. Dark ends up being super sweet. This dark fired, all it gets used for is my wrapper leaf. And that's what it's sold as, is wrapper. I don't know. I have using the forward facing camera, so I don't know how well this actually looks until I'm done with it. So hopefully it turns out alright. It's a little dry there. I shouldn't need that much. This is only about 2 ounce batch. He's just wanting a sample. Figure out if it's something he's gonna like. And hopefully I can figure out the editing for you guys so you don't have to sit here and watch me de-stem every single leaf. And hopefully my camera or my phone records all of this. I don't know if there's a built-in timer to tell it when to stop recording because you've been recording too long. But I guess we're going to find out. So I'm going to try to work through this as quick as possible. Spreading out the creek leaves. Nice thing about the bright leaf Virginia, it de-stems typically fairly easily. If I can get to a spot that's tough enough, just kind of hold on to it and pull the stem out. And that is if I've got it moist enough. Now this process, same throughout all the leaves. I know some guys that as soon as they get all their leaf in, they dedicate a couple hours to de-stemming all of it. I don't see a point in doing that. Keep it on the stem. I think it helps for infusion as well. It'll actually draw some up into the stem, disperse it through the leaf like as if it was water. If I can figure out the editing process, I'll throw in a pic at some point in the video, whether it be at the beginning, the end, while I'm doing the camera transition on a couple pictures of when I was weighing it out and whatnot, but pretty sure you guys can figure out how to weigh it. I weigh it all dry and then moisten. That way I know my start dry weight on the leaves, jot it down in the notebook. Which, if any of you guys are curious, I can give you what recipe I'm using on this. Which, once I get this last one de-stemmed, I don't worry about de-stemming the Latakia or the Orientals. I already did the Wild Tobacco, just for the fact that it's got really thick, heavy stems, kind of like the Dark Fire does. That's all there. Grab that book real quick. So it looks like it turned on me in the process. So hopefully, I'll just try to keep to the right side while blending. So this one is 15% Wild Vacuum, or gonna be 10% Perique, 25% Latakia, 35% Virginias, and 15% Oriental. I'll move that back a little bit. Relight my pipe. Lighter in my pocket. I'm always looking for feedback, guys. If you see something I'm doing, think could be done differently, or you got any questions, do not be afraid to ask. I have no secrets. Try to keep it over to the side to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Laying out the Virginias. Trying to make it as even as possible. The more even you can make it, prettier the inside of that twist is going to come out. Center is always going to be a little thicker because there's always overlap, but it's the way it goes. So figure out maybe a better method. Be able to refine it a little bit more. But this seems to work pretty darn good. Always try to start from this side and work back. That way when I roll, I'll be able to catch the bottoms a little bit easier. First roll, I always do a little heavy. I've seen some videos where guys say you gotta do it this side up, you gotta do that side up. I haven't noticed any difference. I just kind of layer on there and go. Now on the Perique, I don't want it to overlap because that's just so much flavor there. And strength, try to get it more even than not. Maybe have a stronger end versus just a strong middle. There we go. And however you decide to build it, I mean, this is just the way I do it. Not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. Have fun with it. Figure out what works for you. This is just a very basic guideline to see what might work for you, what might not. Thing I can really say is if you can keep it as even as possible, it seems to smoke more consistently. I don't know if I said this in my other videos. The main reason I got into this is, well, it's cheaper. I can order several pounds of whole leaf for the price of a couple tins with shipping. Depending on what the tin is. Something cheap, yeah, maybe not. But for right around 220 bucks shipped, I can have 10 pounds of Baccy as long as it's not a lot of Perique. That stuff's kind of expensive. But it's a condiment leaf, I suppose. So usually you don't use that much of it. I've had the pound that I've had for a while. And with that leaf, that's the only leaf I suggest throwing in a mason jar, and vacuum sealing it, maybe hitting it with a little bit of the Everclear and water, just to keep it in good shape. Now I just throw a little bit liquid on there. It helps with the roll, helps with the twist, helps everything kind of meld together. Throw on the Orientals. Kind of same kind of deal, just kind of spread them out. It's kind of nice. The Latakia from Leaf Only is a dark Latakia fired or smoked Oriental leaf. So it's got a little bit of Oriental flavor to it already, but it's by far the best Latakia I've found for my personal preference. I'm a Latakia freak. Pretty much all my blends that I personally smoke have it in it. Trying to think of what to talk about while I'm doing this. I kind of just squish it down as I'm going. Trying to keep her even. Now time for the Wild. This leaf is interesting. It's got a weird texture to it. It's almost leathery. They're big. They add kind of almost a licorice flavor in a big quantity, a big percentage. This is just a little guy, so some of you guys on Facebook, if you've seen some of the stuff I've done, I've made a 1 pounder for a guy out of New York somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. Glenn's his name. Really nice guy. He's starting to kind of do this as well, except for I think he's going to go a much larger scale. Really good guy. Always willing to help somebody out if he can. So kind of sprinkle the last little bit on there. Get that out of the way. Pull my dart fired in. I don't know if the camera's twisted or not, but I'm just gonna roll with it. Looks like it has a little bit. Hopefully that helps, maybe. Or just got you guys seasick. Hopefully you're not getting as seasick watching this one as my other ones, because I actually got a stand, kind of. I just kind of go, start on one end, Try to roll her up as tight as possible. It's kind of time consuming. Kind of hard to do on your own. I've had my wife help me before. She doesn't smoke, she doesn't do anything, so she enjoys the smell sometimes not. But she helped me the one time with a fairly good sized twist, and she realized she should have been wearing gloves when she did it. I work construction out remote, that's why this channel is going to be pretty well dead come summertime, or come the end of this month. Now it's April, but I will return. But in saying, if you don't have tough hands or a high threshold for nicotine, I would suggest you go and buy yourself some nitrile rubber gloves. I just kind of squeeze her up. It's going to be kind of ugly at this point. This is the whole reason I threw the dark fired wrapper on. Let's see which one's in better. No, dang it, you. Everything. Oh. Hopefully I can edit this out, guys. If not, I'm sorry. One of my C-clamps just came loose. Oh, I just lost one of my fluorescents. Need to get new ballast there, but that's just me rambling to myself. Hopefully. Okay, so this one's got some pretty good holes in it. Maybe this one's a little better. Well, maybe I should have done a little quality control on which leaf I used. Oh well, this one should work. This stuff's actually pretty darn tough at the right moisture level. Too wet, tears easy. Too dry, it crumbles. But you hit that bread and butter zone every once in a while and she does wonders. Alright? Come on, stick together. Lost a little bit out of the one end, but ends aren't usually as good anyways. Give her a little pre-twist. Kind of help everything hold together. Roll her as tight you can get her. Hoping this is picking up all right. If not, I'll make another one. But almost had enough. I have this little piece here that is not usable. Maybe a chunk out of this one I can use. Oh yeah. And then just start twisting. I've seen some guys where they just like do a fairly loose one and just kind of tie it back like the old rope chewing tobacco. I like to make a pigtail or a corkscrew. Different preferences. And it's going to take some time to be able to do this halfway as efficiently. It took me a long time. Well, there that is. I'm going to probably end up retwisting it, but just because I don't have a vacuum bag ready. I usually do this in the kitchen, but the wife's in there cleaning because she just got off a 4-week hitch up on the slope. I keep my area clean, but not as clean as she'd like it. If you haven't tried Commonwealth, Samuel Gawith, or however the hell you say it, give it a try. It's really good. So hopefully this turned out alright. If not, I'll probably have to do a take 2. Trying to think what else some of you guys might want. Thanks for all the new subscriptions. Hit the like button. See where a lot of the guys do a giveaway at some point. So I figured at 100 subscribers, I'll make somebody, once I do the random number generator, do a twist or make you a plug. Do a 100 grammer twist, and it's going to end up anywhere between 50 grams and 200, just because that's how twists are. They're a little bit different. I don't do a lot of topping aromatics, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Getting pretty good with the vanilla topping. It's not this specific one, but this came off a 1-pound block that I made. This is J-Dub's Delight, guy out of Texas. Let's see here. I don't have all my batches memorized, what all went in there. 55% Virginias, 35% Latakia, 10% per each. It got stoved right at the end, brought just out a little bit of sweetness. I flaked it all out. Turned out really, really beautiful. If you saw the pictures on a couple of pipe pages on Facebook. If not, you might be able to check them out. Just search my name, Clint Kendon. Should be able to pop up. Other than that, any questions, like I said, don't be afraid to ask. Help you out any way I can. I suppose just keep her smoky. Enjoy your weekend. Monday's tomorrow. May it be a good Monday to you. See you later.